Good morning. As you can see, we're dealing with some hurricane bands right now up here in northwest Florida. I think New Orleans and Louisiana got the worst part of it, but we're getting tornado warnings. I have a maintenance supposed to be first thing this morning, but I need to call the office and see how we are and if we need to reschedule, because maintenance ain't happening in this weather. I can tell you that. But I'm headed back to the house. Once we got this van blowing all over the road, so I'm just gonna head back to the house and wait it out. We'll call the office and see what else we got on us today. All right, what's up? So waiting for the storm to pass. Went and got my hair did. I'm headed to this call. She said her thermostat's blank. It's a 5-year-old system, and she also wants to address the mildew she has forming in the closet of where the air handler is. So we're gonna take a look and see where the air handle is, if we're getting the hot air getting in there. Most of the time it's like in the garage or attic, and hot air is forming and causing condensation, which is causing mold growth because it's dark. So we'll check it out and see. Power disconnects on. Float switch is clear. We're gonna pull this off and check the fuse. We have a pop fuse, so we'll look for a short. But in the meantime, actually it looks pretty good. Just a little bit of normal mildew. Looks good though. So I pulled the thermostat because we're getting tripping this fuse instantly. So I put this on here and it trips the fuse without the thermostat. So we have something else going on, a short. It's probably direct to ground somewhere, so we'll find it. Pull all these apart and test. All right, so what I like to do, I'll use jumper wires, and I will separate all the wires on the inside, and I will put power to each wire but the common, because we know that's going to trip it. So I do power to each wire, and whichever one trips it or has like the brightest spark. And right now we have the brightest spark on the reversing valve orange wire coming outside. So we're gonna air the condenser right now, take the cover off. We're gonna look at everything, examine, see if there's any direct shorts to ground, and then we're gonna test that solenoid, and I'll teach you how to do that in just a second. So I'll do like a visual inspection, check these wires. These orange wires here are usually reversing valve. I'm gonna say usually. Check your schematics and double check. They go up to here in the board, but if you really want to know if it's beyond the board, you can take that off and do your troubleshooting again on the inside, and then see if it's tripping. If it's not tripping, that means there's no short in your line coming out here, but it's in here somewhere. So after that, our next one's going to be this. We take this top off. Getting the power. Make sure you reset. And then you just touch them. Now. Alright, I'm back outside. Alright, so after you unplug that board, there's nothing in the wiring. Nothing shorting out, so wiring going inside is fine. So now we need to focus on the components out here. We focus on the board and the reverse valve solenoid. So you can either plug stuff in and keep unplugging stuff to get to it. I'm gonna start reversing valve solenoid and work backwards now. That's what I like to do once I figure out the area that the main issue's in. All right, so the solenoid, I'll ohm out across here, and you should get 10 to 20, just like a contactor coil. So this is testing good. So this component looks like it's good. We're gonna put it back on this. So now I'm ohming out the plug resistance on each side, going back, and you should have OL, which we do have OL. So now we're gonna ohm everything out to a ground and see if something's shorted to ground. So I'm testing out the contactor coil. Please make sure you turn the power off before you start pulling wires. But I'm testing the contactor coil, and we're at 15, which is good. You want between 10 and 20, so that's good. So now I'm just gonna, I guess, check each one of these little prongs on the board and test it to ground or something and see what we're getting. I'm not getting any hits, so it might actually be going to the thermostat or something. We'll double check everything once we get done. So I just ohmed out everything, and everything in here is testing good. So we're gonna work our way back to the inside now and double check all that and work our way back toward the thermostat. This is gonna be a tricky one. All right, so I think I figured it out. It was a weird one. Whoever installed the units, I'm not gonna say names, but I might have got it on camera. They ran an extra wire to the emergency heat on the pin on the thermostat. They ran an extra wire, the black wire, and connected it. So I disconnected that because it wasn't even needed. It was an extra wire going to heat strips when you didn't need it, and now everything's working. So apparently it was bleeding through on stuff, but that was the bad wire. We're waiting for it to kick back on, putting the door back on. All right, we got plenum at the very end of the thing, which is a no-no, and that's going all the way all the way. Why didn't they just run ductwork right down the middle? Also, it's uncalled for. So they got all that, and then they got a flex. Oh man, this just gets better and better. Waiting for the AC to kick on so I can see how everything is with airflow. But this flex jumps down to this box, which goes, okay, it just kicked on, which goes to nothing. Okay. I'm hoping this is the return. That's what I'm hoping. I don't think so. I think that's the plenum. So that's the AC right there. Comes up and it goes straight to this box, and everything's blowing off of one side. I think we got a couple on the other side. Let's see. Gotta be careful when you're going through these attics. 2 on that side, 2 at the end of that, and then we got a long run here. Same spider web. So she said she's having hot spots in the kids' room and cold spots in this back room back here. Okay. So this goes into here. Another spider web. There's nothing technically wrong with these boxes, but I feel like they could have just ran good ductwork all the way down the middle. So that goes to here. We got 4 coming out, 5 coming out here, and then that flex runs all the way back to that corner, and that, it's hard to see back there. I think it dumps out some more, so let's see if we can get back here. Here we go, it's wide open right here. At least they hung the flex pretty good. No pinch ductwork. So that box has 3, 4 coming out. What is that? one at the very end. That's the coldest room, the biggest flex. 2 big flexes at the end there. I think that's a return, which is good. All right, so I left that home. My hair's already going crazy. Time for hats. But I left that home, and I found the short. It was really weird. There was whoever installed the unit, which we know a lot of locals know this company and know that it's always the same mistakes. They just do new construction only. They don't service or anything or their equipment. But what was weird is they had a T4 wired up, and they had a black wire going to E and a white wire going to auxiliary heat. Now the white wires are fine. Black wire, I kind of questioned it. So when I went into the air handler, it was tied to the white wire. So I'm like, all that's going to do is pull the heat strips on. When I did all my testing and everything tested good, I went back to that and disconnected that wire and turned the system on, and it's running fine. So I'm not sure. I was thinking maybe either water was getting into the plug on that solenoid, or it was that black wire. But I got rid of the black wire. There was no need for it, and everything is cooling. Let it run for 20 minutes while I checked out our ductwork and everything, and everything's good to go. So we are done with that call. And yes, there was some issues with her ductwork. She's got cold spots in her master bedroom, and I can see why, and hot spots up in the front bedroom. And it seems like more airflow and more air is getting dumped into that master bedroom. So I talked to her about maybe adding a damper or repairing the ductwork to where it flows better. And she's going to talk to her husband and then get back with us. But we could probably just add a damper and close it off about 20%, and we'll probably get enough black static pressure and backflow to fix everything. But easy peasy, on to the next one.